Is your relationship a losing battle? Should you stay or should you go? Welcome back to my channel, Milk and Condoms with Mack. I am Mack, and today we are going to talk about a subject that a very close friend of mine brought to me, wanting me to spend some time with a young lady who was trying to contemplate whether or not she should stay in her relationship. And the more that the scenario unfolded, the easier my response became, but probably it wasn't what my comrade expected. So I decided, why not make a video? Maybe it could help somebody else out. So my first disclaimer is I am not a licensed mental health counselor, a marriage or relationship or family therapist. But hopefully something that I say today will help someone who finds themselves in this dilemma. Should you stay in your relationship or should you go? And the answer is, it depends. And I know that sounds a little flip, but it's really not. Let's walk through that. First and foremost, the very fact that you're asking yourself this question tells me two things. One, that there is something serious going on in your relationship, or there's something seriously lacking in your relationship. Because after all, why would you even be wrestling with this very question? And so my little seemingly flip response, it depends, is honestly my response because it depends on the situation. It's situational. If you are just in a dating type relationship, to me, the answer is a lot easier because you are not tied to this person in a covenant way that God has certain expectations for. So it's a lot easier to become disentangled with the person than per se if you were in a marriage relationship. However, I understand that some relationships have children involved and years invested, and we on a lease together, or we share we share a cell phone plan or whatever. But in all honesty, if you're asking yourself that question, then you know that there's something in this relationship that is not meeting your needs. Now, my first thing is, no matter what the relationship is, if you are being physically harmed, then baby girl, get out now. It won't get any better. I don't care how fine he is. I don't care how many bills he's paying for you. I don't care how lonely you are. I don't care how long you guys have been together. If you are being physically harmed, then this is not the right relationship for you. And get out when you can do so safely. Make a safety plan and get out, using the help of the available resources. But at all times, take your safety into consideration. If you are in a relationship that is not working, that you're not being physically harmed, but it is not working and you have children involved, then I would definitely advise that you seek the help of someone, whether it be the court system, whether it be, a pastoral counselor, whether it be someone in your families that can mediate, but mediate the best split that is going to work for your child. It is not healthy for your child to see you in a relationship where that is depressing, that is making you sad all the time, where there's arguments going on and you think your children can't sense what's going on, but no matter how young they are, they can sense emotions. They can sense that something isn't right, and the last thing you want to do is teach your child to stay in a relationship that is unhealthy. But you have to decide for yourself when you've had enough. Nobody can tell you when is enough is enough. So let me go back to the scenario that really started this whole thing. A very good friend of mine called me and asked, hey, I have a young lady I need for you to talk to. You may be familiar with her and her husband. And there's a lot going on in the relationship, and she just needs a sister to talk to. I said, okay, tell me a little bit more. I don't personally know this couple, but I've met them a time or two, and I have my own feeling or vibe that I got from the husband. I've met the husband a couple more times than I've met the wife. But tell me what's going on. And he went on to say that, you know, the couple's dealing with some marital issues. They each brought children into the relationship that they had before they were married. That they're having some financial difficulties that predate the pandemic, and that, you know, the husband, because of his outside children, is not really capable of contributing to the household very much at all. And then the little income that he does have, he likes to spend on extravagant things and not really taking care of contributing to the household. And the wife is frustrated. The wife is tired. And she's wanting, you know, she's just wanting to know what to do. They had split. But, you know, according to the person who called me, in a momentary weakness, they got back together. You know, they acquired a new home on which both of them are signatories on the home. And so now the young lady is feeling once again that, you know, dude's not contributing. You know, should I stay or should I leave? So, you know, my first response was, well, first of all, I don't really feel comfortable talking to a young lady about her marital relationship, someone that I don't know, that I mean, it's like walking in blind. And so my first response was, well, maybe you should have them speak to their pastor or to, you know, some other family counselor. And I was told, well, they've done that. They've talked to their pastor. They've gone to other types of therapy. And so I'm thinking, okay, then what's the issue? Why is there still an issue if they've talked to those people? Why would you come to me? My friend said, because you keep it real, and she needs somebody to keep it real with her. And I was like, okay. Let me really think about it, because what I know is when you tell somebody what to do about their relationship, it's a personal thing. And so they have to make that personal choice, because the last thing you want is for somebody who's really not ready to make a hard choice, to make a decision to stay, and then to be upset with you. You know, like how they say, keep your family out your business, because when you go back to the relationship, then everybody in the relationship is alienated from the family. And so that's kind of how we got here. So going back to my it depends, should you stay or should you go, this is that other side of the it depends. If you're in a covenant marriage relationship, there is a different level of responsibility there, that you stood before God, and whether or not this person is fabulously fantastic as they were when you said I do, the fact of the matter is you still said I do, and there comes some different obligations with that. Again, you know, all bets are off if you're being physically harmed. But, you know, everything else, even infidelity, can be worked through. I'm not saying stay and just be a complete fool for someone, but I'm saying is you have to get down to the bottom of what is the source of the issues in your relationship as well, not just for your spouse, but you also have to do some introspection for yourself. And so in this situation, I've had some interaction with the husband, and my first immediate reaction was, dude is a decent dude, young dude, decent dude, but he is so caught up in the way things look, you know. He's so caught up in dressing the part and using the big words and being impressive, that the real him really can't shine through. And some of the reports of what I've been told of the way that he verbally abuses his wife in terms of putting her down and questioning her worth, you know, the first thing comes to my mind is he's not secure in who he is. He's not comfortable in his role, especially if he's not able to contribute to the household in the way that is beneficial. And so he has to find some way to knock her down some so that he can feel better about himself. And so I don't think he's a completely bad dude. I think he's an immature guy, and I think that there is some hope for that relationship, because again, the last thing you want to see is marriages break up, but it has to be intentional on both parts. Now, when the person, some of the things that I was being told, and the thing that I went back to was, listen, you guys say that they got back together because he preyed on her in a momentary weakness, but my thing is, he's there because she wants him there. There's something about him and about that relationship that she wants. Now, whether it's the sex, or whether it's the companionship, or whether she doesn't want to be alone, or whether, I don't know, there's something that is keeping him in her life by her choice. And so as long as she's making that choice, we can't tell her what to do. Because she is not a dumb woman. So by getting into a legally binding contract for a living situation after they had already been separated, she did that by choice. So again, you have to ask, what is that thing that is holding her in this relationship? But wait, what is your why? What is your reason for remaining in your relationship? And is that thing enough to bounce back or rebuild, or actually build where they should have, put some more work in from the beginning? But there is definitely, we're judging from the outside. You're hearing her words saying she wants to go, but her actions aren't matching up with her words. And so I say that to anyone. Are your actions matching up with your words? Is that just coming out of your mouth because you're frustrated and you don't know what to do and you feel like you're at your rope's end? And that might be. So maybe you need to sit down and talk to somebody. Maybe you need to do some deep introspection first before you project on the other person how they are not meeting your needs, or how they are insufficient in the relationship. And so if you can find somebody that can help talk to you all, and help you see each other's point of view, and come up with a game plan that you both can work on to strengthen your marriage. Because I just strongly believe that if you have a covenant relationship, the option to just walk away because this is just not working for me right now, or this isn't what I thought it was going to be, or I'm not getting my needs met, or he's just not making me happy, or those are really, honestly, very immature responses inside a covenant marriage relationship. Nobody said marriage was going to be perfect. It was going to be easy. It was going to be roses every day. But you made a vow and you made a commitment, and so you need to be mature enough to figure, how can we work through this? With God, all things are possible. But both people have to be willing. Nobody's asking you to sit there and be a verbal punching bag. Nobody's sitting there asking you to be the virtual ATM machine for your relationship. However, I have to take you back to, there has to be some elements of irresponsibility, or some elements that gave you a hint before you even became married to this person that they had these traits, and you were okay with those traits during your dating relationship. So what's changed now? I need you to put back on that hat, and that gear, that battle gear, that made you fight for that relationship when y'all had hard times before you made it to the altar. So, and I know you did, because everybody did. So if you fought hard to keep a relationship before you got to the altar, then why aren't you willing to fight hard for it now that it is a covenant relationship under God? So you really need to do some soul searching and think about that. But I go back to the whole idea is, only you know when it's time to throw in the towel, raise the white flag, and say enough. And that's a personal decision between you and God. But what I do want is that you make sure you've exhausted everything, every option, before you make that choice. And if you decide to make that choice, which is a personal choice, then you still got to put the work in for yourself before you find yourself entangled in another relationship that has similar problems that crop up, because you haven't dealt with your issues on accepting the unacceptable before you walk to the altar. And so, for those of you who have not yet made a covenant relationship, if you're seeing signs that this person is irresponsible, immature, unreliable, got credit issues, got several babies and baby mamas, child support payments, and all of that, and does not have the financial wherewithal to take care of his responsibilities of the children that he made, as well as now take on this responsibility for the household and the family that he is standing before God to have with you, then you might want to rethink that thing. Listen, and it's not a popular saying, and it don't sound nice, but for the most part, you can't take penis to the landlord, okay? You can't take penis to FPL. You can't take penis to the phone company or the mortgage company or whatever. And so I don't care how good they slanging and swanging, and I don't care how good they whining and dining, and I don't care how many different little trinkets they buy you before they get married. You need to understand, is this person going to be responsible and mature before you say I do? And then maybe you'll have little skirmishes, but you won't have great battles and great big wars when you get into your marriage, and you'll be able to get through those little situations. So I don't purport to tell anybody what to do with their relationship. It's a personal decision. You have to look inward at yourself. You have to look upward at God and see what He desires for you. And you have to be honest on all accounts. What responsibilities should you take in this situation? What responsibilities can you lay on the feet of your partner? And are y'all willing to go through the trenches? Are y'all willing to get a little dirty? Are y'all willing to get real in order to save your relationship? Most battles can be won if you're willing to put in the work, and certainly with God, you can win everything. But make the right choice for yourself. Be safe. Don't be afraid to seek help, to seek counsel. But make sure that you seek it from people who are equipped to help you, and not to just be in your business. Understand that if you are in a covenant relationship and you stood before God, God desires to see your marriage and your family prosper. And so with that in mind, go forward and get the kind of help that you need from God above and from those that are equipped to counsel you, give you godly counsel and wisdom. Be willing to accept your part of the situation. Be willing to work on yourself, and be patient. Your relationship didn't tank in a day, and it is not going to turn around in a day, but it can. And so I pray that God will continue to bless you, that He will direct you on the right path for your circumstance. And just know that you are not alone, and that you are not the only person who has experienced difficulty in a relationship. And I am confident, my sister, that you will make the right choice for your situation with the help of the Lord. So I hope this little video is helpful to someone today, and I will see you next time. This is Milk and Condoms with Ty Mack. I am Ty Mack, and of course, as always, I love you.